Everyone, and welcome to this
Work session.
work session. Madam Clerk, could you please read the roll?
Mr. Bozen?
Here.
Mr. Nichols?
Here.
Ms. Creighton-Smith?
Here.
Mr.
Here.
Childs? Mr. Simon?
Here.
Ms. Wilder?
Here.
And Mr. Foyce?
Here. I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda as well as the approval of minutes of the March 18, 2024 work session as proposed. Second.
That motion has been made with the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
All right, let's, Bridget.
All right. Good evening. Bridget Wood, I'm the finance director. Today I'm going to be going over the, so it says published budget, which will actually be published after today's meeting for what we're, the published budget will be what was at the proposed levy rates. However, I'll go over today what I think we should certify next meeting, or I guess approve next meeting. So the outline is, again, just a quick review over the published levy rates and then the proposed certified budget for the next meeting. The proposed levy rates are broken down again into, we have police, fire, debt service, and all other services, with police and fire having 60% of our general fund levy. And then the all other is broken down into building inspectors, public works, health and social services, culture and rec, community and economic development, and general government. So again, the published rate was $22.41, I don't even know how to say that, 41611. That which would make the non-agricultural change at a 13.85% increase, and then the ag change would actually decrease by 5%. This is just a nice little visual of where your dollar goes. So as the end of fiscal 24, 49 cents of your dollar was going to the city of Waterloo, 32 cents was going to the schools, 16 cents to the county, and 3 cents to the other taxing authorities.
Bridget, the slides aren't advancing. Maybe it's me,
Hold
but
on
it's
one
still
second.
on the, okay.
Is it on this one? Let me click through it. All right, so now, can you see then, Belinda? Where it says 2025 proposed? We're good? Okay. So this is the proposed certified budget that I'm recommending for fiscal 25. This would be what would be approved at the next council meeting on the 15th. Here shows the differences in where we published the levy rate to where I think we can sit certified or approve of the next agenda. It decreases the overall rate by 32 cents and that's a combination of decreasing all of the current levy, like the current breakout. And then this shows for the other sections, for the all other services, where those would lie within that 12-cent breakdown. And this just goes over the difference in what was published for your tax bill and what I believe we should approve next meeting would look like. It would be approximately a total 5% decrease over what was certified in 2024 at a house of $100,000 value. So if your assessed rate is more than $100,000, then you'll have to adjust to figure out what your tax rate would be. And again, this also applies to the first $150,000 of businesses. They also would be taxed at the residential rate, which is at that 46%. So instead of a 13.8% increase, it would be a 12.11% increase in the total change for non-agricultural taxes. And then ag still is at that 5.75% decrease. That didn't change. So then the breakdown of where the money would be going per se, we've got personnel increases, which are primarily contractual due to our bargaining unit contracts. So we've got pay and increases, overtime, payroll taxes, all of that at 2.1 million. 75,000 in fire department overtime for military, health insurance increases, and police and fire pension increases for a total of 3.1 million in personnel. Our non-personnel changes, most of these had revenues that matched them. There was a total of $87,000 increase in expenses that did not have matching revenues to go along with them. So here I have it listed out for grant-funded expenses, liability, insurance, work comp, sidewalk expenses, and airport expenses are all ones that had larger amounts. The other expenses is a net of a combination of multiple departments. The revenue changes are for the ambulance transport, which just started this year. ATE revenue going up, airport revenue increasing due to increased lease fees for the, I think it's with American Airlines, they got that lease updated. Clerk and finance revenue, which includes interest revenue as well as credit union. It's a credit union franchise fee, and then sidewalk assessments and other increases for grants and fees. Again, that's a net of a combination of different departments increases, such as leisure and there's actually like 4 different increases for leisure services in different departments. So the total net change, we're not using fund balance this year for the general fund. We will be using $250,000 out of the library levy that is remaining from the prior levy that was separate to help fund or offset some of their personnel increases since they are part of the general fund this year. Otherwise, there is no other, we also are using $100,000 in the insurance liability line that we use for $100,000 for that fund balance. Otherwise, there's no other general fund balance being used. So as you can see from this slide, it nets out to a $4.8 million increase for that. And if we include the debt service in there, it's a $6.3 million increase in our budget. So next couple of slides just go over how our certain funds used for our capital projects funds. Most of this is relating to fiber, as that'll probably be for the next couple of years that the capital projects will be fiber related. But this breaks it down into how the different how it's funded, or where where the expenses are lying. So if it's in the TIF or if it's airport or parks, That's how it breaks down. For the sewer fund, it's a, let's see here. My notes, I don't know if I updated them. Sorry. But they have approximately $31 million in projects that are going to be happening in the next year. So that could be, some of that's fiber related again, and some of that is just regular SRF projects with their stations and other like cure in place pipe updates. The stormwater fund budget, that one has a slight increase over fiscal 24. It's relating to the match for the bridges and for some other SRF related projects. The sanitation fund budget, it is an increase of around $490,000 from last year's budget. Looks like most of it had to do with increases in recycling and collection services, as well as increased motor vehicle and equipment costs, and the increases for personnel. The road use tax fund budget, that one, there's an increase of about 1.3 million in that budget this year. Most of it, again, has to do with bridge expenses and increased commodities costs. The local option fund budget, this one has an increase of 6.5 million. Most is related to the LaPorte Road and some bridge project expenses. The federal block grant, which also could be known as community development grant, block grant, they have an increase of about 2.8 million. And most of that has to do with some of they have a new federal grant coming in this next year. Federal housing, their budget has an increase of $606,000. And again, that's mainly from increased housing assistance payments that they have been getting for HUD in Section 8. And that's it. Any questions?
All right, council. Well, continuation of good work by you and your team and all of the departments. So appreciate your efforts. If there's no other questions.
I'd like to make a motion to close or to adjourn, sorry.
Second.
The motion been made with second. All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you.
All right.